Hi, Coding Club. Today we were moving cards, and so this is the video if you missed the lesson. And by moving cards, we're going to have them move to certain locations by the program's going to move them to different locations. So right now we can move the card, but I want to have the cards to be able to be dealt to different locations, and we'll call those zones. I'm going to just start off with making the zones in HTML. And I'm going to make 3 zones to start. I'll just call them Zone A, B, and C. We're not going to do much with the zones in this one. We're just setting them up. And it doesn't even matter where you put them. It's just if you say send it to that zone, wherever that zone is on the screen is going to be where the card goes. So I'm going to say, I think these were IDs, so zone A, we'll say has a width of 33 VWs, a height 100 VH. And I did different ones in class. It actually doesn't matter where the zone is. The background color, blue, and we're going to make it a little transparent. That's opacity 0.3. And the position is absolute. And so we will have one zone sitting right here. And then I'm going to make zone B and C just the middle third and and I'll give them different colors. Blue, orange, yellow, and this is going to be, the width stays 33, the zone C, the left is going to be 66 VWs over. So there's our left one, and then let's get that middle one in. Zone B, the left will be 33 VWs. And the tops are all zeros, so we didn't even have to touch them. So we have the zone A, B, C. And again, it doesn't matter where you put them. We won't leave them here, but we'll be able to send cards to each zone. Everything else we're going to do today is in JavaScript. And I do have some notes. Just check out my notes. I did stumble around a little bit because there's some unique things that I haven't done before. So when I was stumbling, all I could really do is apologize. The code's also going to get a little messy today. One of the things we're going to be doing in our next session is to clean up our code. There's something called a canvas that we can work on. I'm just cleaning up a little bit right now. And I've always worked with canvases when doing game design stuff. Having fun connecting to the web page. So I just hit all my functions just so I can see, like, here are all my functions. Drag element is a weird name because that's kind of our card, is our drag element. That's going to be something that we're going to change and give it a better name. Anyway, so we're going to make a function called Animate Table. And that is going to be where we animate our table. And at the top, after we set everything up here is all the setup stuff. We're going to say set interval. And that takes two arguments. It takes a function. Our function is going to be Animate Table. And how often do you want to call it? So that would be every second is 1,000. That'd be a tenth of a second. That'd be a hundredth of a second. We want this animation to look smooth. We're going to do it like every hundredth of a second. And we'll probably change that. There is an animation loop back instead of an interval loop back. Functionally, it will feel about the same, but it is a little bit kinder. I don't remember it off the top of my head, so it will be an easy change later. So in Animate Table, we're just going to go through all of our cards, and we're going to say that card should be moved. So we're going to say for var I equals 0, I is less than, our elements are our cards. Elements length I plus plus. So this is just looping through our cards, and it's going to tell each card to move. And we have not, actually no, sorry. That's what I wanted to do. I had problems with that, so we're going to actually have a function that says move each card. So the card isn't going to move itself. Our overall program is going to move the card. At this stage of the game, it's going to feel relatively the same. Program design-wise, it's a very different idea. And that's all we need to do for Animate Table. Now I have to write another function. What do we call it? That's what we called it, move. I actually want to call it move card. Move card is a better one. And then we're passing in the card element. So let me put that back into Animate Table. Let's call it move card. It's just a little more descriptive. So first off, we're going to say, like, if we haven't moved before, we're combining some unusual elements here. So I'm storing some stuff on the web page and some stuff in JavaScript. Not great way to do things, but that's what we'll clean up next time. So I'm going to say if our card doesn't have an X position, then our card X position will equal 0. So that's where the card is supposed to be. And actually, yeah, it's fine doing it that way. And then we are going to say, but we want to move the card to a spot. And so this is basically setting up our variables in our element the first time we call move. Because after the first time we call move, these variables will be defined. And we could probably do this in a better spot, but right now we'll leave it as is. Now we're going to say we're going to travel, or var delta x. Delta x is going to be the distance between our x element and our 2x element. Oops. 2x minus ELMNT dot x And delta y is going to be the difference between our y spots. And we want to move by this amount. So right now, if we say move delta x and move delta y, if we just say ELMNT dot x plus equals delta x, that's just gonna snap us to wherever we're going. It's gonna be a very quick animation because we're gonna be where we are to where we want to be. What we have to do is now move the element that's in our web page, and that's ELMNT dot style dot top equals ELMNT dot y. Plus, and that's a string, and that has to have the pixel after it, and then left is ELMNT dot x pixels. And what that's going to do is that's just going to move our card exactly where we want it to go. It's not going to look great, but it will work. Now, what do we do? If I run this, it shouldn't really do anything yet. Oh, it snaps it back to the center. Now, if you watch, it's actually doing some weird stuff because when I'm dragging, it's saying I don't like what's happening. So we're going to add another variable when we're dragging. So when you drag mouse down, mouse down. We're going to just say ELMNT dot move equals false. Actually, no. We'll do not move. We'll make that true because we don't want to move it. And then when we let go, we'll let it be moved. And then what we'll do is in our move card function, I'm going to say if ELMNT dot do not move is equal to true. Now, if it's undefined, it can move. Then just return. Leave the function. Don't do anything. And that's going to get rid of the little flicker that we were seeing. The card's still going to snap back as soon as I let go. Because now we're saying move. But what we can do is we can move it in steps. And so instead of moving the entire amount all in one step, we can divide that by 5. And so we'll move 1/5 of the way, or by 10. We'll move 1/10 of the way from where it is to where it's going every frame. And every frame is happening about 1/10 of a second. So now, oh, why is that still snapping? Let me slow down the interval to 1 per second. So let go, it snaps right to it. So there's something wrong here. (2x). Should be able to figure this out pretty quick. 2x minus x divided by 10. Having done this already, I didn't think I'd run into any problems, but okay, so it's just giving 0 always for delta x. Oh, that's what we have to do. Just give me a second to figure this out. We got to change our x and our y when we move. The x and the y are never changing. The 2x and 2y we don't want to change because we want it to snap back. So when we do mouse up, when we do this, we have to also say elmnt.x equals the position of our current card. And so that would be parse int. Parse int converts a string to an integer, and the web page is storing everything as a string. So we're going to say elmnt.style.left. So that will move our x position and move our y position to wherever the card is after we let go. We can do this in the mouse drag as well, but this is just a little more efficient than when we let go. Now, parse int is not defined, it's breaking, so lowercase p. Refresh again. Oh, now it's going very slow, but you can see that it's moving back to its original position. Let's get that fast. So it's pretty satisfying. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to say, oh, deal it to this quadrant. Deal it to this quadrant. We ended here because this was so it moves fast and then slow. But now, instead of moving to the upper left corner all the time, we're going to say move it to a different quadrant. And that is our next goal. But that's for next week. Thank you, and I hope this was helpful.